Hey everybody, it's Katrina and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a June/July monthly reflection, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on June. And I know this video is coming out a little bit late, but as I'll mention later, June was a roller coaster of a month, and the only reason why I decided to carve out some time to make this video is because of the support that I received from all of you and from today's sponsor, Nordgreen. So Nordgreen is the sponsor of this portion of the video, and I just want to give them a huge shout out for being so flexible and understanding. In June, something happened that altered my deadline for a video that I had planned with them, and so they were kind enough to give me the flexibility to take care of things happening in my own life before sitting down and making a video. So I just really want to say thank you, and I really love when brands are showing their human side, because we're all just real people, whether we're part of the brand or we're the creator. Like, we're all just real people trying to work together. So I really appreciate their flexibility and empathy. So if you're not already familiar with Nordgreen, they are a Danish watch company that really focuses on their commitment to sustainability and to giving back to communities across the globe. And I also love their minimalist designs. So in my previous two videos with them, I featured this watch. This is their native watch with the white leather strap, and I wore it a lot in the fall and in the winter. But if you remember, I originally said that I really wanted the silver mesh strap, but when it came to me, it was way too big. Even on the smallest setting, it was too big for my petite wrists. But I'm so excited to announce that they now have smaller sizes. So this is their native, and it is made for people with petite wrists, and so I was able to get the silver mesh strap. So if you see, the face is a little bit smaller than the other one. I think it looks so sleek, and I'm so excited because this is just a style that I've been wanting for months, but I knew that they didn't fit my size. I personally told them that I wish they carried, smaller pieces for smaller wrists, and I'm so excited to see that they're actually adjusting their practices to fall in line with the feedback they're getting. So that means a lot to me, and the straps are also interchangeable. So I got this one and the black leather strap, and I haven't worn the black one yet just because I'm so in love with the silver mesh strap, but it looks wonderful with the black strap as well. And I've been wearing this watch every day since I've gotten it, especially because I'm teaching now. Having a watch to just quickly check the time is so helpful, especially when it's like passing period and I need to run the restroom and make sure I still have enough time to make it back to class and set up for the next period. So anyway, I love their watch designs, but what I think really makes Nordgreen stand out is their give back program. On the back of every watch, there's a special code, and if you plug that code into their website, it'll allow you to donate a portion of your watch to a cause of your choice. So if you're interested in checking them out, I'm going to link a discount code, my affiliate link with them, and would love for you to check them out. So now let's get into the monthly reflection. As always, I'm using the Passion Planner reflection questions, and I'm going to leave the questions in the description box in case you want to pause the video or reflect with me. So the first question is, what was the most memorable part of this past month, and describe it? It's not a happy memory, but the most memorable part of June, and definitely what consumed my mind, was that my grandma suddenly had to go to the hospital. So it was so sudden, right? Just rapid body deteriorating, disoriented. I literally thought it was the end. And right in front of me, it was really hard. And I was just, so emotional. But luckily we were able to take her to the hospital, and we immediately scheduled changes. My sister flew home. I postponed my trip. Our family quickly came up with a schedule for hospital visits. She was in there for a total of 2 weeks. It was just so much uncertainty, worry, stress, and gratitude, and just a roller coaster of emotions. And I think the hardest part was that my thought was that life is going to get exponentially harder for her, because she was already very, very weak, didn't have any strength in her lower half, and now she is completely bedridden. And it's been several weeks now that she's been home, but things have changed for our family. Those 2 weeks in the hospital were so stressful because it just felt like she was taking one step forward, one step back. But she is just so strong, so strong. She has been through war, like so much loss, cancer survivor, COVID survivor, and now all the infections and everything that she had, she has survived them. And although her condition right now is very, very weak, I'm just so in awe and so grateful for her. Yeah, just so much. It was on my mind. And at the same time, I was starting a new job. I was transitioning in my current job and I had so many trainings. So it was just very hectic and emotional time. And that's why I couldn't film a video. And yeah, so I'm really glad she's home now. And yeah, just really grateful. So the second question is, what were the 3 biggest lessons you've learned in this past month? So the first thing I wrote down was that little signs of empathy, love, compassion can really make a difference. And some of the things that I jotted down were the nurses or the EMT guys that were helping bring my grandma home. They just showed this extra, warmth and care, and it made me feel so touched and just grateful. Apple customer service, I had to reach out to Apple a couple times over the phone and on the computer. And when I talk to customer service, I just try to be, polite, friendly, appreciative. And on both occasions, the customer service person actually thanked me for being so kind and friendly. And I always like when they kind of show, indications of personality, like happy faces and stuff. But even things like students leaving little comments and questions on my surveys, like how are you doing, or have a great weekend, those things mean so much to me. My new coworkers at my job in the fall telling me to focus on summer school before reading their emails. Even Nordgreen allowing me to extend my deadline and make the video in July instead of June. I think these moments where people are showing their humanity and their empathy and not just acting like, oh, we're all about transactions, like in, out, we can bring our humanity into all these different situations. And I think it just means so much. It could really make a difference whether you're on the giving or receiving end. The second one is kind of an interesting one. I was trying to be that girl without even knowing the that girl trend. So I don't know if you know the that girl trend, and I don't even know if I have a really great grasp because I've only watched one video that was called Why the That Girl Trend is problematic or detrimental or something. And so basically I feel like the that girl trend is when this person seems to have their life together on social media, where they drink green juice in the morning and then they exercise, and then they journal, then they meditate, then they go do their job, and everything's just so aesthetic and they're checking off all the things in the day, they're self-actualized. I say that in this way, and it's not a bad thing at all. I do wish that I could achieve that. But I didn't even notice that in my April reflection, I allude to this idea that oh, maybe one day if I have a routine or blah, blah, blah. And I realized that in my head, I was describing that girl without even knowing that existed. I guess this lesson is first an understanding that even if I don't think I'm being influenced by social media in that way, I do think when we see certain things, even if we're oh, we're better than that, we're not going to fall into this peer pressure comparison thing, that it's still happening to me, whether I actively know about it or not. And so I guess I'm just trying to tell myself it's okay. Watching my old reflections, all the habits that I talked about are gone. I don't eat outside anymore. I don't exercise. I don't have a consistent routine. I am struggling to just walk 5,000 steps a day with my mom. It doesn't happen all the time because I'm just so consumed with work. I bring my phone into the shower. I no longer use Notion besides to track my finances. Basically, everything that I said I was going to try to build up, they no longer pertain as I'm now in this transition period. So I'm just trying to be understanding of myself. You are in this intense transition period right now, the beginning of your teaching career. All of a sudden it's summer school, and between summer school and fall, I only have 1 week, and I'm transitioning with the plain products job too. We had hired new people. I was kind of working on the transition there, and so there was just a lot, and I feel I need to constantly remind myself to not add pressure where I don't need to. Yes, I do feel my body regressing. My push-up progression, it is not good, right? I feel myself getting weaker. But even though I wish things were different, I wish I had more time in the day to do other things, I also feel proud of the work that I am doing with my time right now. I'm pouring myself into my lesson plans, into my work. When I'm working on plain products, I'm pouring myself into that too. And I feel really proud of the work that I'm doing, hanging out with my family when I can. So I'm just trying not to beat myself up with all these little routine, great productive habits, because I'm being productive in a different way now, if that makes sense. And I think another thing is that a lot of the people who post online about their routines and blah blah blah, they're people who work for themselves or have like a very flexible work schedule. And now that I'm on this like teacher schedule, my schedule is just very different from what it was a couple months ago. So I'm just trying to learn to adjust to all of that. And the last lesson is just that being a teacher is so hard. And I already knew that, but just teaching this summer, and it's just summer school. It's not even, you know, the full set of students that I would get or the full curriculum classes that I would get in a regular school year. But it is just so hard. There's so many things to consider, from lesson planning, which is incredibly time consuming, to grading, also so time consuming, to just being able to check in on 30 students at a time, to trying to support students who just came to the US and are just learning English, to dealing with parents who might not be into the curriculum or the things that you're doing, to dealing with administration and all this kind of stuff, to students who are opening up to you about their mental health. There's just so much that is encompassed within what a teacher is expected to do. I think it is wild. They're definitely underpaid. So I guess it's just hard, but it also feels pretty incredible to be finally teaching. It's been a very long time coming, both from the, you know, credential, like grad school standpoint, but also from just that childhood dream of mine of being a teacher. I don't want to start crying. I always cry in these videos, but I truly can't remember when I first wanted to be a teacher. But as far as I can remember, my memory as a little girl was that I dreamed of being a teacher. I would play school to say like, wow, I'm finally here. It's definitely very different than I was thinking when I was like 8 or 9 years old, but it still is so fulfilling. And despite, you know, the challenges and stuff, I'm really happy to be here right now. And I can't guarantee that this is what I want to do forever, but for right now, I do feel happy to be here. And despite the insecurity, the fear, the anxiety, the overwhelmedness, I do feel like this is where I want to be, and I want to continue growing and becoming better. Next question is, review your planner for the past month. Are you happy with how you spent your time? And if not, what steps could you take to adjust? I didn't really write down much in my planner for June, but I think my main priorities last month were to prep for summer school, to continue keeping up with plain products as I was transitioning to teaching, and to also just make the transition for our new hires more smooth, to take care of my family. And that is basically all I did. I poured myself into all those things with very little room for anything else. I wrote, I wish I could have spent my time more productively instead of the occasional scroll, IG binge laying in bed. But at the same time, I don't want to be so hard on myself. I'm proud that summer school is going well, even if I'm operating on a day-by-day basis. However, next month when fall starts, I do want to set some kind of routine for work, sleep, moving my body, maybe just starting out with walks before full-on workouts again. I'm pretty much in this place where I'm not even really trying to figure out a work-life balance yet, just because I'm just trying to make it so that I'm not crashing and burning at work, and I'll put in the time that it takes to ensure that I can alleviate some pressure by the time I am in class the next day. So the next question is, how are you different between this past month and the month before? So we're talking about like June versus May. So this is very much still a work in progress, but what I put is that I'm trying to work on letting go. Letting go of the thought that all students need to like me, letting go of the idea that I can do things without rest, letting go of the need to reach or want to really reach like this number or do good with every post, caring a little less about what I post. Like, if I want to post me taking out an avocado seed or attempting to, then why not? Letting go of things that are disrupting my peace as much as I can, and letting go of that need to share everything or be like the Instagram teachers that I see. I always feel, you know, this huge gap in my content knowledge or whatever, and I see all these other teachers or stuff like, if you're not sharing blank in your class, then blah, blah, blah. Like, there is so much, as I mentioned, there's so much to think about when it comes to teaching. I don't need an Instagram post telling me that, oh, I'm crappy if I'm not like talking about this topic. Like, there's not enough time to talk about every topic. So I just want to talk a little bit about the first point that I said, which was letting go of the thought that all students need to like me. So I'm someone, just as a person, not as a teacher, but just as a person, it's very difficult for me when I think like, oh, someone doesn't like me. I'm someone who overthinks a lot, right? I do care as much as I don't really want to. I care about how other people perceive me. And if you think about it, teaching is like having 100 and something eyes on you every day, judging you, you know, because you're the one up there talking. And so they are drawing conclusions about you. You know, people either say, oh, I like a teacher, or I don't like a teacher. A student last year actually gave me advice saying, don't try so hard to be liked by everyone. And that was just a piece of advice, because on the last day I asked students for advice for me as a teacher. And honestly, that has been on my mind like consistently for the past year, because I've realized that I do feel intimidated by some students, or I think that they don't like me, and it affects my relationship with them because it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. I start to kind of walk on eggshells with them. I'm not as open as I am with maybe other students, or I don't like go ask them if they need help as often. And I'm really just trying to like, you know, what I can do is just do my best to be a teacher, and if students don't like me, then they don't like me. Like even my favorite teachers are the best teachers I know some people that don't really like them, and that's okay, right? We're not going to be liked by everyone, and that doesn't necessarily mean we're not doing a good job in terms of teaching them. Like everybody just has different preferences. So I'm really just trying to let go of that and not treat students like differently just because I feel like, oh, they don't like me, I better add another emoji in my message to them or something like that, you know? So that's just something I'm trying to work on. So the next question is, who or what are you especially grateful for? So the first thing I put here is my family. We truly come through like a village, and every time we're called to take care of my grandparents in any way, we truly assemble faster than the Avengers. I really am just always in awe and so grateful for the way that we show up for each other and we get things done. You know, as I mentioned, my grandma was in the hospital and she was in there for 2 weeks, which is quite a long time, but there was not a single minute in those 2 weeks that she did not have a family member by her side, because we came up with a schedule. And even now, since she's been home, because she needs around the care clock, there's not a single moment where one of her children are not there with her, because they have now altered their schedules. So it's just truly my greatest blessing in my life to have my family. The second thing, I'm really grateful for teaching ethnic studies at the school that I'm teaching at right now, and especially for summer. Like I really like the summer school schedule, both in terms of the daily schedule and also the 6-week shortened schedule. I just feel really grateful to be dipping my foot in the waters with ethnic studies in this setting. Yeah, it's the perfect gig for me right now, and there's a lot of hesitation and anxiety, but just so happy and grateful to be here. And then lastly, I just want to give a shout out and thank you to my mom. I know that it might seem like, oh my gosh, she's still like packing you lunch, but yeah, I still live with my parents and I'm trying not to be ashamed of that or anything. I'm saving money and I get to spend time with my family. So my mom, she packs me lunch, right? She is so supportive with me. We walk together when we can. She asks me how I'm doing. She's curious in what I'm doing and very supportive of me in my multiple, you know, avenues, whether it's teaching, playing products, YouTube, Instagram, like ads or whatever. She's just very, very supportive, and I'm very grateful for her. So the next question is, name 3 things you can improve on this upcoming month. What concrete action items can you take to work towards these improvements? The first one I put, to be a more efficient teacher. I feel like I am very much a teacher who will do the extra work to make it run more smoothly in class, because I don't want like students like all clueless, like, I don't know where to go, miss, and stuff. So I like rather just make it super clear so that there's less of a chance for that. But because of that, it puts a lot of work for myself. Like, oh, I make a separate like slideshow for each period, so it's a little bit easier, like all this stuff. And it really does take a lot of time for me to do all the work instead of having 100 students do the work. I like the way I'm doing things now as well, but I do want to just be more efficient with grading and stuff, planning, and I don't know, go home faster instead of just sitting there like scrolling through Instagram. And then second, I want to sleep more / move / stretch more / journal. I feel like that's a lot, and there's just not enough time each day to do all of those, but maybe I can make like it a non-negotiable each day. Let me just try to do at least one, whether it's sleeping a little earlier or moving or stretching or journaling. And one thing I really want to improve on is my posture. Like I have such like this, and I just want to be able to, I don't know, stand tall. I think one thing that helps is when I wear an outfit that I feel cute in and I'm like walking with my little heels to school, I do feel like I stand up a little bit taller. So I just want to be more cognizant of it. And then lastly, I want to try stuff myself before or as I'm asking for help. And I'm somebody who likes to just like, can someone help me? Especially like if it's like tech related or whatever, I always just ask like, Brian, can you help me? Or if a form, oh my gosh, forms. My new job sent me all these like insurance forms and I just started getting really overwhelmed, like, I don't know how to do this. I just want to try it myself and not immediately get intimidated and then shut down and then just like call for help. So when I got my latest like employment papers, I looked through them and I really tried like to fill them out myself before asking for someone to double check it. So I feel like it's like baby steps and yeah. Last question, what are 3 words you would use to describe the past month? So for June, I think I would use the words roller coaster, right? Everything was just a roller coaster. Fulfilled, and effort. There was just so much effort being put in by me, by a lot of different people in my life, and I felt really fulfilled with finally starting to teach and with also the work that I'm doing in my other streams of work and fun as well. So, ta-da! And then the book closes. So that's all for this video and for this month's monthly reflection. I really don't know when the next time I'll be able to do one is, so I just appreciate your patience with my videos. I am just trying to do them as much as I can. Maybe when I go traveling after summer school, I'll be able to make a vlog since a lot of you wanted to see a vlog as well. So before I go, I just want to give one last reminder that my Nordgreen link and discount are in the description box below. I love their watches, I love their mission, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with you all. And I hope you all are staying safe, staying well, enjoying your summer, staying hydrated, and I will see you all next time. Bye!